doing this morning and learned a lot more about him.
Yeah. Bob is an ex-Marine. Well, I guess you're never really ex. Once you've been in, you're in, and so he's a
Devil
U.S.
dogs.
Marine. Yes, and he is also he doesn't necessarily call himself a survivor, but he was in the World Trade Center Tower 2 when it got hit and back in 9/11, and so he's seen and done a lot. And in fact, if we want to go to him. I think, Aaron, he should be on the line. Bob Jenkins, good morning, sir.
James, how are you guys this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, how is life as the top contractor in the state of Arizona?
It's humbling to say how good it is. We just finished up a very large project down in Phoenix, and we're on the tail end of that one. And then I just picked up a contract the other day with a homeowner nearby, and they've been in a house since the early 70s, and they're going to completely gut it and renovate it. I got another contract last night for a nice little kitchen remodel. My brother's got several good projects going on. So,
yeah,
knock on wood, man. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I do know a lot of people, and I'm down at the lumber yards every day watching people that are not, and driving through Cave Creek last night and seeing the biggest names in Cave Creek shut down. And so knock on wood, we're very lucky. And I pray every day, that this thing gets over real quickly and we all move on with our lives.
For those of you that are not familiar with Vetsbuilt Contracting and Bob Jenkins, what he does is he actually he strictly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but you strictly employ veterans only in your business. Is that right? And why is that so important to you?
I'm a former Marine, and my brother DJ and I started this business 5.5 years ago. And when we started it, our goal was to hire and put as many veterans to work as we can. So right now we've got roughly 50 subcontractors, plus or minus, but roughly 50 subcontractors that work with us. And out of those 50, roughly 40% are veterans or have veterans working. Like an example of that is my electrician. John is not a veteran, but Travis is a former Marine. So whenever we go to work, I ask him to put Travis on the job. So we're always out looking, talking to, trying to work with and add more veterans to our stable of subcontractors.
Bob, we could probably spend 5 shows getting your story, listening to your experiences, but I know this is tough to ask, but in a nutshell, tell us what you were feeling on the 39th floor on September 11th, 2001, when you heard a noise, felt a rumble, and you thought you knew something wasn't right.
And I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just there's no good way to start or end that story. But to answer your question quickly, moving forward, through a lot that happened. At one point, within 5 minutes after the plane hit the building, I managed to get over to one of the windows, and I was looking out the window, and I was looking down from the 39th floor at the Statue of Liberty, and the building was convulsing really badly. I mean, it was swaying back and forth, and I thought it was going to topple over for sure. And at one point, I literally just put my hands in my pockets. I looked down at the Statue of Liberty. I smiled, and I said out loud, "So this is where I die."
Oh, wow.
And we're all going to go someday, but nobody knows when or where. And at that moment, I was absolutely sure the next thing I was going to see is that building topple over and just go. And I literally just said, well, so this is where I die. There was nowhere to run. It's not like I could run down 39 flights of stairs. It's like nowhere. Couldn't go anywhere. And so it was, and I was completely at peace. No panic, no pandemonium. There was nothing but peace, and just like, well, so this is where I die.
Bob, tell me, with everything going on now, obviously people are, at home, businesses have ceased. Are we going to be okay?
I got to bite my tongue because I have some very strong opinions about this whole thing.
Yeah, I know
The
you do,
answer
and that's why I asked.
Yeah, well, the answer is yes, we are. We're going to be fine. There's just some things that are going on behind the scenes that are much bigger than all of us. And once we get those under control and organized and back on track, we are going to be fine. And, it's like after 9/11, we lost, several thousand people in a matter of, minutes. And we lost, the Twin Towers, and we rebuilt, and that had to have cost the country trillions. And granted, that was in New York, and that was one spot. This is a worldwide situation we're going through right now. But this will be resolved.
Bob Jenkins from Vetsbuilt Contracting. Bob, we always appreciate your support. You've been a supporter of the JV Sports Show since we got this thing off the ground, and it's great to have you on this morning. And we appreciate you sharing more of your story with everyone.
I always appreciate your time. Good talking to you guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Have a great day. Stay safe.
You too, sir. All right.
You too, buddy. And hey, how about